How many of you have been stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic whenever you travel? I'm pretty sure everyone has been stuck in some sort of traffic in their life, and there has to be more ways of dealing with it than just creating more highway lines. So today I will be explaining the benefits of using public transportation, some forms of public transportation that I think can be beneficial to us and our communities, and then explain some of the ways that we can implement those for the future. So to start, I wanted to start by looking at the benefits of using public transportation. So using public transportation is more eco-friendly and to the environment, and is more helpful because public transportation uses less fuel and produces lower levels of carbon monoxide, volatile organic compounds, and carbon dioxide per passenger mile, which is taken from the U.S. Department of Transportation. And also, transportation creates more than fifth of the world's greenhouse emissions, and that is from an article done by Siki Sen and Aaron Kroll. And if we cut down on the amount of single-use driver cars on the street and use more, if more people are riding buses or trains and stuff, it will create less emissions in the environment. And so you can really cut back on those if we eliminate the usage of just single person cars on the road. It can also reduce the amount of traffic, because if you have more people using public transportation, it's going to take more of those single rider cars off of the street. So again, filtering out those people. So it's going to be mainly people carpooling, or if they need to just use the car by themselves, and they'll have more space to do so instead of being stuck behind person bumper to bumper. And then it also will improve our health. Again, from the U.S. Department of Transportation, people who take public transit usually have to walk or bike to access it, to bus stations and stuff. And also, in a 2005 study of a 2001 National Household Travel Survey, most people who were commuting to public transit stations are getting 30 minutes of exercise in, and it also helps if you're biking or walking to places. You're still getting exercise in that way as well. And so after looking at some of the benefits, there are a few types of transportation that I think can be most beneficial. One of them is bikes and improving bike infrastructure. So having bike-centric planning is really important, I think, in developing new cities. For instance, in the Netherlands, there was a movement started to have more bike pathways implemented to make it easier. And so the Netherlands had created 35,000 kilometers of bike paths in their country, and where a lot of the roads, they also made it so bikes have priority. And this was in an article done by Callum Tennant, kind of explaining how that works, and also how they have different infrastructures prioritizing pedestrians and bicyclists, so then they have their safety ensured while commuting back and forth. So there's a lot less cars driving around on the roads that they are sharing with bicyclists, so they don't have to have the risk of getting injured while sharing a road. So they'll have dedicated roads for them, and so has that been a big improvement. Also, in investing in better bus infrastructure, creating bus-only lanes has helped reduce traffic. So then things like buses can have just a one-way go, so they don't have to be stuck behind the cars and also cause more traffic being with the cars, so they can have their own lane to get to and from places and help take people further quicker. Also investing more in subway and metro lines and stuff. So New York has a subway station, and so that helps a lot of people get across majority of the major city in New York City. And I think if we implemented those in bigger cities or in newer developing cities, that could also help with traveling big distances. And expanding metro and train lines would also really help, because it would cut down on the reliance people need to use their cars to go across the state or across really great distances. So they can just take these metro and train lines, so that there's more people using those and getting cars off the roads. And so after learning about some of the ways that we can make public infrastructure better, we can discuss some ways that we can put this in effect for the future. So with New York, they have what is called seasonal streets, and this is from there is no author for this, but they're from the New York NYC seasonal street article that they have. They have seasonal streets which changes they have certain times where it's pedestrian only, and so people can bike and walk in between these streets without fearing cars going in their way or getting injured. And businesses have seen a lot of foot traffic increase, and so that kind of helps, the economy there, and also just, encourages people more to commute by foot or by like skateboard, bike, just because they have that access now, and so there's nothing really stopping them from using that kind of mode of transportation. And they also have these spaces, like, again, it kind of ensures the safety for people from cars if they want to commute that way. Also, by incentivizing people to use public transit more, if we have things like usually an encouragement, things like putting in like discounted like rail lines or free like bus passes and stuff like that, could also really help increase the usage of public transportation that we have now and for the future. That was again from the U.S. Department of Transportation, and getting more people, like incentivizing more people to use that, will definitely help make sure that these kinds of things are maintained for a while longer, and that they also continue to get funded and improved, because they'll be used a lot. So again, you'll want to make sure that that kind of infrastructure is is nice and up to date for people to continue to use. And so in conclusion, we have learned about the many benefits of public transportation. We've learned of some of the more beneficial modes of transportation, and we have learned about ways to put them and put them in for the future. And so whenever you get stuck bumped above traffic again, think of some of the ways that we can better utilize the resources in our community to ensure that things can improve in the future. Thank you.